So, one of my friends asked me about what is the correct way to lead a horse. It's such an important topic, in my opinion, that it's often misunderstood. A lot of people don't really know about it, and so I thought I would share some thoughts that I have. For me, I feel it's about preparation, awareness and connection, consistency, and much of it is kind of like an art form. In general, I find multiple ways to get to a point where when I'm teaching a horse something that they can understand it. But a really critical thing for me is that I never want to go to the next phase of learning until the current phase is really solid. So, for example, if I have any problems, and notice I said and that's because most problems are me and not the horse. I like to go backwards, not forwards. Or said another way, if horse training is a numbering system from 1 to 100, I start over at number 1 every day, which means my horse understands and is really comfortable with basic things, and basic things are what actually most people have trouble with. But basic things that work really well combine to make beautiful, more complex things. So to the horse, everything is training and everything is learning, so whether we're aware of it or not. So here's how I would answer that question about how do you lead a horse properly. In preparation, let me say I would like to meet a horse at liberty where they are in an enclosed space that is safe and roomy, such as an arena or a large round pen. And at this stage, I'm really interested mostly in planting a seed in the horse's mind that, hey, I'm a really great guy or gal that can help them get out of trouble, and I'm a dependable person that they can predict and trust because of my consistency and fairness. I would almost like the horse to think they're training me a bit, in fact. I want to be able to convince the horse with the slightest of efforts to let me exist in my space and they in their space. I would like to be able to move them around and change directions like a reasonable horse would. And no, I said a reasonable horse, not a bully horse. And I would like to end with them being comfortable enough to just follow me around like I had an invisible halter and lead rope on. I would like them to be comfortable around me and any equipment I might have, and be relaxed and willing to be caught. If I feel we've achieved this at liberty, both mutually respectful of one another and relaxed, then I would move next to catching the horse. If I did not have all of these things really solid, though, I would never catch the horse. I just wouldn't move on to the next step. To catch the horse, I would really like the horse to either come to me or stand quietly and relaxed as I approach. I would like the horse to lower its head, put its nose in the halter, raise its head to my level to tie the halter, and stand there quietly and at peace. After all, I've demonstrated that I am a good fellow to be around, who knows how to help them get out of trouble and provide guidance if needed. If I can't catch the horse like this, I will work on it and go backwards to previous steps if needed. Otherwise, I will not proceed. Once caught, I would like to teach the horse how does the halter feel and use our previous work described above to help the horse learn it can trust me and give to the pressure of the lead rope because I give really big rewards. And when I say give to the pressure of the lead rope, I mean they give so well that I can hold the lead rope with 2 fingers and the horse can give to me faster than I ask, beating me to the punch, so to speak. In this phase, we would go over lessons learned at liberty and add more, including but not limited to any type of body control you might imagine you might need, such as backing up, hind quarter yield, fore quarter yield, side pass away, side pass towards, diagonal movements, forward movements. I will refer to all of these body movements later as, quote, something different, end quote. At this point, I can draw the horse to me or push them away with my mental energy and intention, and I should not really even need the halter and lead rope. Now, the next phase would be leading. I would never go to the leading phase until everything I've just mentioned is spot on and comfortable for the horse. In leading, the horse has already learned the idea that I'm a great place to be and a pretty good fellow that can be trusted. The horse already understands at this point how to move its body with the slightest of intention and energy changes sensed from me. And the horse is locked onto and looking to me rather than the environment. The horse has also learned that pressure, which could be as simple as looking at them, is not something to be frightened of. Instead, it is a cue to try different and new things to see where the reward is. And they know they will not be punished for trying different things to see where the reward is. It's like a game. So what I do is I create a game for the horse to figure out where the reward is. The game is, in this case, if you and I can walk together at a certain distance or space apart with slack in the rope, with your near side ear or eye noticing me now and then, the reward is we exist together in that space in peace and relaxation. Maybe a tree or a scratch while we walk, maybe some hand grazing, any other creative thing you can do with the horse. If the horse is not in that position, then what we do is, wait for it, something different. Now, some people ask me, what is something different? Something different is what I've defined above. It's not punishment. Every great athlete needs to do daily exercise and stretching to maintain peak performance. In this case, something different involves all those body movements that the horse already knows and can do with ease, and the slightest of effort on my part to transmit my idea and intention. While every great human athlete may understand they need this, it's not actually their favorite thing to do. Their favorite thing is their reward of performing the sport and task they trained for. So I think of my horse as a great athlete, a finely tuned machine. In this game, her reward is being with me in the moment, distinctly aware of one another and at peace and harmony. When we are together like this, I do the most critical part of my training, and it's called absolutely nothing. When she is not in this position and space as described for the leading game, we practice the stretching and body movements that she needs to do on a regular basis to keep herself in top shape as I try to be a reasonable, trusted, and predictable teacher and coach. The game is how fast can she figure out the perfect spot to be in and get the reward. If I'm consistent and reasonable, and if I stop on a high watermark every day, her learning will not just be directly proportional, it will be exponential. A word about absolutely nothing. This does not involve holding on to your horse with a death grip like at Pony Club. For you see, that would involve pressure, claustrophobia, and the human trying to force their will upon the horse. If the horse has been taught, as mine are, that pressure means to look for a different answer and get the reward, then holding a death grip by the chin while leading is literally telling the horse, please move around and search for a different answer. This leaves the unknowing human confused as to why the horse is so rambunctious while leading, and is also a source of great misunderstanding among many humans. Ironically, in that scenario, the horse is doing exactly what it was trained to do, i.e., search for different answers in response to pressure, and the human is at a loss trying to understand what the problem is. So I feel leading involves a heightened sense of awareness and connection where I am acutely aware of what's going on with my horse and I'm able to respond with reward and guidance within seconds. It is truly an art form that has been largely lost, in my opinion. The consistency part means I want to do my level best to be consistent because my predictability makes things easier for the horse to understand. It also means that all of these things take precedence over my need to be somewhere on time, to have a lesson, to go trail riding, go for an event, etc. So that's a little bit about leading. You want to consider leading an art form that you practice to the highest level that you can, just like a dressage rider wants to do their best in the riding portion at the Olympics, if that makes sense.